What is up, YouTube? Back again with another video. Today's video, man, we're going to be going over the best tips and tricks to get camos here in Modern Warfare 3. This is something I wanted to get out just so anyone that's still trying to get Interstellar here in this game before Black Ops 6 in a few months, you have this opportunity to do this, and this is as up to date as it possibly can get. Some things have changed since back in the day when this game first launched. It's so weird saying that, but it has been almost a year since this game came out, so like it has been a very long time already. But this is up-to-date list of all the best methods, best modes, best attachments, etc. that you will need to get camos. We're also going to break down some of the challenges. Most of the challenges are the same for primaries, if I remember correctly, but we'll go over some of the special ones that you might want to be aware of going into it. So first off, let's get out some of the big things out the way and talk about what you need requirement-wise to get the Mastery Camo. For the Mastery Camo, you will need to get all your guns in the game, all default guns. So there's 36 in the game right now that are default. If you want just the base guns in the game, Interstellar, you will need all 36, I think it is. And then you get them all max rank. Once they're all max rank, then you can go about getting the Mastery challenges, and as well as the default camos. You can cancel out guns depending on the category if you don't want to do certain guns. So like, for example, let's talk about, say you're an assault rifle player and you like SMGs and assault rifles and stuff, but you're not a fan of battle rifles for some odd reason. Well, you see there's 4 battle rifles in the game, but you only need 3 battle rifles in order to get platinum and priceless battle rifles, okay? Or not priceless, I'm sorry. You just need 3 gold battle rifles for platinum. So you could cancel out one of these battle rifles for the SOA Subverter. Now, there is some misconceptions and some theories and myths going around. And as far as I'm aware, the current situation is that you can cancel out entire categories if you do wish so. So if you don't want to do any of the shotguns, okay? So you don't want to do the Spaz 12, you don't want to do Lockwood, you don't want to do Riveter, you don't want to do Haymaker, there is a theory going around that you can skip all of them. So you could just do all the DLCs and basically do the exact same amount of DLCs, but I don't know that 100%, so take that with a grain of salt. I wouldn't rely on that, okay? There's going to be some guns you're going to hate doing this grind, and I say just do them. Get it over with, do them first, do them last, do whatever you have to do. Just because why not, right? You're going to get the Mastery Camo anyway, so just get them all. Because you're going to want, later on down the road, you may want to have the Mastery Camo on guns that maybe you don't like, but maybe there's a challenge that requires you to use them, or maybe you find your friends want to use them, and then you want to have the Mastery Camo and you have it. So, but that is a myth going around, a theory going around. I haven't tested this, obviously, because I already have the Mastery Camo on every gun in the game. I have literally every Mastery Camo in the game. For anyone that's wondering, I have Borealis, I have Interstellar, I have Bioluminescent, and I have Orion, and I have them unlocked on every gun they can get unlocked on. So, I did them I just did them flat out, like as they come out, I was doing them. So, I don't know if that method works. So, if you decide to go for that method, let me know down below if that works still. Anyway, continuing on. There is about 57 guns in the game, 50, 67 are in that area for Modern Warfare 3, and 77 in the game for Modern Warfare 2. The 77 guns in Modern Warfare 2 are not needed for Interstellar or Borealis, so if you are someone who doesn't like the Modern Warfare 2 guns, you do not need to use them for this grind for Interstellar or for Borealis. Now, it's the same for the opposite, so for Modern Warfare 2, for Orion, and for Bioluminescent, you don't need to use any of the Modern Warfare 3 guns. And you guys, remember, can see what guns are from which game by clicking at the gun. It will state MW3 or MW2, depending on the gun the game is from. So keep that in mind when you're going through. When you're doing each category, think of it as a different way of playing. And so what I mean by that is, so there's going to be different requirements for each gun and different challenges, and that's one thing, but remember that there's different play styles for each category, okay? So don't try to, run around with a sniper rifle or something, and then don't try to snipe with an assault rifle, you know what I mean? Kind of figure that out. And so for example, like ARs, SMGs, battle rifles, those are going to be more for rapid play styles. You're going to be able to you're going to fly through those battle rifles, ARs, SMGs. You're You're going to fly through those running around. Shotguns again are really good for up close. I would recommend when you're doing the shotgun challenges, play either hardcore or core shipment 24/7. Best method is for those. For LMGs, again, it's a very different playstyle. You might want to be a little more slower. Maybe not as slow as, say, a marksman or a sniper rifle, but be a little slower, be a little more defensive than offense. And really take advantage of the fact that you can build these LMGs to be laser beams, and when you do that, you can pretty much hold head glitches, and you will dominate the battlefield with these things. So keep that in mind when you're going through it. And obviously, marksmen and sniper rifles are the same thing, but be a little slower when you're playing. And what I mean by that is, like, you can build them for quick scoping, but don't be like up in people's faces all the time. You're gonna find yourself dying a lot more than not, and you'll get frustrated very quickly. Especially with the crossbow. Especially with the crossbow. Be a little more slower. Be patient. Understand that you're using a gun that is not made for you to go crazy with. It is more of a fun gun. And so when you understand that and you can play with that style, you'll find yourself getting camos a lot faster. For melees, for like the shield and the knives, those play again small maps like shipment, same maps for like if you're doing like the shotguns, same with pistols and the launchers as well. So pretty much those 4 categories, or those 3 categories, are going to be your best bet for doing stuff like shipment and stuff. The RGL is annoying. Keep that in mind. The RGL is very, very annoying still, because, and even more now than it was before, because they did buff EOD, and so a lot of people are running EOD, which means their grenade launcher is not going to be killing at all, hardly at all. I found in core it takes sometimes 4 shots to kill somebody. Now you will get oftentimes lucky if you're on the lucky side of Call of Duty, where you'll get lobbies people aren't running EOD, but be aware the minute they see you with an RPG out or of any form, they're going to start pulling EOD out. So be aware of that ahead of time. So if you're going into a match, try to get camo challenges done with RGL as quick as possible, and then if they pull out, say, EOD or something, switch to something else you're grinding and call it a day. Okay. So now that we have base understanding of the challenges, let's hop into the camos. And so for this demonstration, we're going to use the ACR, because the ACR is basically the most base default gun you can get in the game. Okay. And so we can go here. So every gun is going to have 4 camos to do before you get gold. Then you have gold. Then you will then have gold unlocked for that gun once you complete it. You do all of those guns in that category. You get all goals done. You will get plat. You do plat for that category, and then you are done with that category. Okay, so you should realistically be doing camo challenges for the masteries 3 times, twice basically in a row, and then once later on towards the end of the grind. Okay, because Priceless needs you to have basically platinum on all, and by the way, in terms of just reference, I'm saying platinum. This is what Forged is. Forged is just platinum. Okay, so if anyone's reading this and confused why I keep saying platinum, that's what it is. It's the same thing, just a different name. Anyway, back to the Priceless and this requirement. So once you get all the platinums done, and realistically, you should be logically able to get all of your platinums done for the entire gun, all the guns in the game, in less than a week, 2 weeks at the most. Especially if you're really grinding and you're using all the tips I'm going to give you this video, you should be done this within a week or 2. Okay, these challenges are not hard. Some of them are annoying. There's some guns that took me 2 days to get. And then there was days like when I was doing priceless challenges, I was able to get like 32 priceless challenges done in a single night. Okay, so there's some challenges that are going to be really easy. There's some other ones that are going to take you a little bit of time. So again, just reiterate, go get the 4 challenges done, get gold in that gun. Then you move on to the rest of the guns in that category, get them all gold. Then you have platinum. You do all of them platinum in that category. You then move on to the next category, get them all platinum. Repeat that process multiple times until you have all the categories done. And then you will have the ability to go back and do priceless for all the guns. Now, Interstellar does not have a challenge requirement, okay? So once you have all the priceless done, congratulations, you've now unlocked Interstellar Camo. Now, let's go over some of the challenges. So the default challenges have a couple different styles of challenges, okay? For multiplayer, you're going to get 50 kills with the gun. You're going to get 50 ADS kills. Sometimes there's kills with suppressors. Sometimes there's kills with different attachments. There's kills that are headshot challenges. There's tactical stance kills challenges, stunned operator kill challenges. Those are for the SMGs specifically, where you'll need to stun an enemy and then kill them. I believe flashes also do work, I think. I usually just use a stun grenade. They're usually more consistent. And then you have some other challenges that are different requirements, like you may have to get hip fires, double kills. I think some challenges require long shots as well. Long shots are not a major thing in this game. I think total for the entire grind, you're only going to need about 100 long shots, if that, for this whole grind, so it's not bad. It's nowhere near as bad as last year. Last year was, I think it was for Platinum or Poly, was getting the long shots, and those was for every gun across the board. So you had like, you think you need like 1,000 long shots or whatever for it. Anyway, those are some of the base challenges. You're going to see some odd ones here and there as well. The tac stance kills, for example, is going to be one you're going to see quite often, but these are not hard. They're not hard at all. So that's the first challenge we're going to break down first. I think this is the one that people have the most issues with. And they're really, honestly, quite easy. I find myself flying through these in a single match, so let's kind of go over the best ways to do the tac stance. So tac stance is going to be basically when you go into the side firing mode. Let me show you guys in game. So you see I'm aiming right now. This is tac stance. You basically hit down on your D-pad, or whatever is equivalency to your platform. Okay. So this is tac stance, and tac stance basically does not have aiming. Okay, because you're tac stancing. This is supposed to be like a tactical stance. I mean, this is not a realistic stance, but that's another video in a nutshell. But when you're doing this tac stance, you're going to see a couple different things. First off, you're going to get a better view of your gun, but you're also going to lose the ability to hit your target accurately from a larger distance. Obviously, tap firing it's going to be easy, but if you full auto, you can see your gun bullets twinkle all over the place. And this is where people have issues. But one really quick fix, if you're working on a challenge, if it's for tac stance and you want to get it done and you don't have the right attachments, which we'll go over the attachments in a minute, but you don't have the right attachments on, but you want to do the challenge, one thing you can simply do is crouch. Crouch and burst fire. Crouching and burst firing will make your life a lot easier. Another thing I also do sometimes too is lay down. Remember, the smaller your character's profile, the more accurate you're going to be at tac stance. Okay. Now, you can't mount at tac stance, so you see I mounted, and as I came unmounted, my tac stance went away, so you cannot mount. Okay. You can jump shot. You could even drop shot if you wanted to. Drop shotting is really good too, especially up close and medium range. These longer ranges where you're going to struggle. Now, you know you have tac stance challenges. What I recommend everyone do is go through your guns once you have them all maxed out. Okay, go through your guns, see which guns you need tac stance kills on, and pre-make tac stance blueprints. Now, I think each gun can have up to 5 custom blueprints. So normally I would say have a custom blueprint that you're going to use just whenever you want to play the game. So like for me, I have all my guns have at least 1 blueprint. That's my base version. And if I build anything special, I'll make an extra blueprint. So to do that, go through and make a tac stance blueprint specific. Call it tac stance, whatever the name of the gun is, or tac stance. And then when you click on the gun, just hit the tac stance version, okay? And the reason is this. Tac stance builds are not going to look anything like a normal build, because you can actually change the tac stance accuracy. All you have to do is when you go into a gun and you go to the attachments, hit the L2 button or gren or whatever is equivalent to your platform, and you're gonna get this menu, okay? This stats menu. And this stats menu is going to tell you everything. Okay, you can live, die, reproduce, and teach or whatever. Okay, from this, you can do anything you can imagine. What this menu will tell you. Okay, this is going to tell you your recoil control, your mobility, your range, your damage, your fire rates, your handling, your accuracy, and it's going to tell you all that. And it's going to give you exactly the amount of milliseconds for each thing. So, for example, like recoil gun kick, I get 20.4 seconds of recoil, all right, or a percentage of recoil. Now, what those stats necessarily mean doesn't really matter. Just knowing that those things, the higher, say for example, the recoil, let's use something that's a little obvious. So you see how the effective range for the range is green, okay? If I go here, it jumps down to 26. Depending on this, the number depends on what you want. So like for damage, I want that number to go up, not down, okay? For recoil, I want the number to come down. For the other stats, you want up or down depending on what the green shows. Whatever green is showing is what you want. So if your green showing the numbers going higher, that's what you want. If it's green's going lower, that's what you want. Try to stay away from the red as much as possible, okay? That's just a tip for general class making. So now that we understand this, we can look here, and you see the accuracy section. You're going to see something called hipfire spread minimum, hipfire max minimum, spread max, and then you're going to see flinch resistance, and then a tactical stance spread, or TSS. Okay, TSS is going to be the thing you're going to look at the most. TSS is going to tell you everything you need to see, okay? Now, there's a couple other tac sprint settings. You get the tac sprint speed, which is how fast you can move around while sprinting with tac stance, and that's pretty good. You know, obviously, if you have better recoil and higher damage, the tac stance are obviously going to be better as well. But here's the thing about the tac stance spread, or TSS, as we're going to call it for now on. The TSS, if you increase that, okay, what you're going to do is basically make your gun pinpoint. So you can get, I think there's barrels, muzzles, underbarrels, ammunition. I think there's even a stock as well that helps with tac sprint. And when you do this, the TSS will begin to go down to the point where you'll be in the points, the 0.03, 0.23, 0.1, whatever. Okay, and you can make guns extremely, extremely, extremely good. For example, let's make one right now. Come in here, we see that this barrel right here gives the best tac sprints with a 44% increase or decrease. We go over here and we look for whatever gives us the best tac stance setting. I know there's at least one in here. So this is 5%. So we know that one's 5%. That's the only one that makes an increase, or decrease, I mean. So we'll do that. So these magazines don't affect it. So what we'll do is we'll get rid of it. Get rid of the optic. So our first one in here is just 16%, 5%, and 11%. So what we're going to do is we're going to go 16%. Underbarrel. Do the same thing. 19%. 31%. 25%. So that 31% is still the highest. And there's no more, so we're going to go back through, find that 31% one. Right there it is. Pop that boy on real quick. And we'll check this grips. I don't think there's any grips to help with tac sprint, so there's not. Okay. Is there any ammunition types? Let's check the ammunition types. No. So, we can check the lasers as well. Get an 18% here. Yeah, 27%. So this 27% and this 27% are very, very similar. So we're going to do, that's 22, 26, 27. Let's see here. Or this one's at. So we'll go with that one because that one has other hip fire spread bonuses. So we want to maximize our other hip fires too. And what we have just done, okay, for anyone that has no idea what just happened, we have just maximized the accuracy and recoil control, not only for the gun, but we've also just maximized the for the stats down on the bottom of the left hand side of the screen. But what we realistically just done is made our gun a tac stance demon. Okay, so let's go back into the firing range and let's demonstrate this. So we're gonna aim down sights, hit the down D-pad. Now you're in tac stance, and the difference is staggering. Now obviously you could sacrifice maybe one attachment for tac stance for a bigger mag. That will help you get kills a lot more rapidly. It might feel a little smoother. But this is what I'm talking about. How very simple, how very easy it is to build a gun specifically to what you need it to be built for. Okay. And this is a class you can copy pretty much for every gun in the game. Obviously, the attachments will be named differently, but this is the same style. Usually, it'll be a laser, a muzzle, a barrel, or under barrel, a stock. Some guns have rear grips, and sometimes have, I think, magazines that have some effects on the tag stands as well. Just have to figure out which guns is which. So that's the big one. I think the biggest hurdle for a lot of people. Next up, stun grenade challenges. So for the stun challenges, I would recommend running any type of vest that helps with grenades. So engineer, the gunslinger vest gives 2 tacticals, modular assault vest gives 2 tacticals. So those 3 are going to be your best, but the absolute supreme vest when it comes to camo grinding is going to be engineer vest, especially when you're going to be grinding the 2 launchers. So if you do the EMP launcher and you do the RGL, both require you to get a field upgrade, kill streak stuff, and equipment stuff, destroys, at least I think for the mastery challenges anyway. And so you're going to see that you're going to need that engineer vest a lot. The engineer vest also gives you a faster field upgrade charge, which means you're going to get more ammo. So if you're trying to get like a certain amount of kills, like for example, the gold challenge requires you to get kills with a single mag without releasing the trigger. Having more ammo to spare is going to be great. So again, recommend engineer vest for everything when it comes to camo grinding. Honestly, I wouldn't put any other vest on when you're camo grinding other than engineer. Once you're done grinding of camos, then you guys can mess around with the different vests, but I would recommend just not even touching the vest and leaving it on engineer the whole time. Now, some other things to note, when you're doing any type of melee challenge or for the melees, make sure to have lethals, not throwing knives. Make sure you put like grenades or something on. And the reason I say this is because if you knife someone with like the circle button or whatever, a lot of times what happens is the throw knife gets mistaken as the melee weapon, and oftentimes if it does that and you get a kill with it, it will not count towards your camos. Just quick take there. I wouldn't even run throwing knives until after camo grinding. So let's go over some more things. Let's go over the mastery camos, because I feel like this is going to be the more complicated. These 4 default are pretty easy. The 3 masteries are going to be the most frustrating for some people. Okay, so like we talked about earlier, gold is going to be kills with 1 magazine 10 times, or however many times it is as the game updates, you know. Bro. But anyway, gold's always going to be in some form of that. Okay, you get so many kills in the same magazine without, releasing trigger or without reloading or etc. So it's either going to be, I think the 3 big challenges for gold is 3 kills or more without reloading a certain amount of times. And the second one's usually 3 or more kills in the same without releasing the trigger in the same magazine or something. That's usually another one. I think that's more common with the LMGs. And then you have the other camo challenges for gold, which are more tied to melees, which are we'll look at right here, which is get 10 upper kills while being out of the sight of enemies' line of sight. And this is the one that gets a lot of people confused when they're talking about the melees. And when I've talked to people about melees, is this challenge doesn't track the way it should. And so sometimes you can be beside an enemy, behind them, or even above them or below them, and you can melee them, and it will count as out of sight. As long as you're not physically in front of them, or they're not physically looking at you, you should be fine. Sometimes it does bug out, and you can get a kill while being in front of them, and it counts. It just really depends. Okay. As far as I'm aware, they're the only go challenges in the game that are like this. I don't think there's any other special go challenges. Let's check the Morse real quick for snipers. Okay, so here's just for snipers, it's a little different. So snipers, you need to get kills with using a magnification scope. Now, some snipers, the default scope is a high enough magnification. If a sniper does not have a default scope or a smaller scope, just throw one. If you have it, I'll show you guys this optic real quick. It's going to be called the SPX scope. Is basically the scope off the SPX sniper rifle from Modern Warfare 2. Obviously, you could run any of these big scopes down here, but I think the SPX is probably the cleanest and is the most refined scope, and it does count as a magnification. I think it's favorited. I think that's why it's not popping up for me for some others. There it is. This is the scope right here. This is probably the best when it comes to just quick scoping. If you still want a quick scope, It does say you lose some ADS speed, but as you can see, it's not even enough for the stats to actually change. So I don't think this is actually all that much affected. But that's what I would recommend for that. So let's hop into the plat challenges. This is where things get a little interesting, because now things begin to change. Each category is different from my understanding. Again, it's been a while since I grinded these, but for the most part, these were all pretty similar to each other. Again, these plat and priceless challenges, you're gonna fly through them like crazy. So don't worry about it too much. Again, you will fly through it 100%. So plat for the assault rifles anyway is get 3 upper kills without dying 10 times. Pretty self-explanatory, just get kills without dying. For these, unironically, the best method is to play shipment and try to get triple kills, because triple kills do count. That's what I did for most of mine. I just got the triple kills, and then I just died. Boom. That's a 1 life done, and you just do that 10 times, okay? Let's check the other categories, just to make sure I'm giving you guys the most accurate information. 25 suppressed clean kills with the battle rifles. Now the battle rifles require suppressed clean kills. Now clean kills are just kills in which you hit all your shots. From my understanding, hit all your shots and you do not get damaged. I think these also can be partially tied to if you get assist. So like if you shoot someone and someone else shoots that guy, but you get the finishing blow, that will not be considered a clean kill because you had assistance. So these have a couple of different ways they can track. Sounds more difficult, but if you're playing something like core or even hardcore, you should fly through these pretty quick. Let's go to SMGs real quick. For platinum here, it is get 25 kills shortly after swapping weapons with the FJX or other SMGs. This again is just what I would do is shoot a couple bullets, like 1 or 2 bullets, swap weapons, swap back, and then kill somebody, and just keep doing that style of movement until you get kills, and just you'll fly through it. Now I did take notice here real quick that the Go challenge for SMGs is a little different, and so I'm probably gonna have to fly back through the battle rifles and check the battle rifle challenges for Go because I think they're all different. So that's great. But anyway, this is just get kills while ADSing and moving. Pretty self-explanatory. Put strafing, speed attachments on. The same thing we did with the attack sprint. Do the same thing, but build a strafing class if you feel like you're struggling with these challenges. Because 50 kills is not a lot for someone like me. I'm used to getting 50 kill games, but for some of you guys out there that I know are really struggling in this form of Call of Duty. So if you're struggling, build classic specifically to what you need, and you'll find life a lot easier. And so I think what we might do is we're going to look at the priceless challenges, and we're going to look at all the challenges per category. So that way we don't have to keep flapping back and forth. So let's look at the priceless for SMGs real quick. So priceless for SMGs is get 15 double kills without taking any damage with the FJX Horse, or for example any SMG. And again, this is very similar to any other challenge. Just play a small map shipment. Shipment is going to be your best friend for this grind, okay? It's going to make life a lot easier. You're going to die a lot more, but trust me, you're going to get camos a lot faster too. And so for this, best thing to do if you want to is play hardcore, because hardcore, if you don't get both kills, you're going to die anyway. So that saves you the time of having to like heal up and then start a new firefight all over again. So play hardcore for these. Double kills are really easy in hardcore, and you only need, I think it says 15 of them, so that's not bad at all. Alright, let's look at the battle rifles. So we looked at platinum. So for gold is get 2 upright headshots and 1 life 10 times. Very self-explanatory. Just get 2 headshots in the same life, die, repeat. Now all these challenges where it says in 1 life, you can, and going forward to any other challenge that says that, you can double them and triple them and quadruple them, etc. So if you want to get all the headshots that is up for 2 headshots per life 10 times, and you do all 10 of them in the same life, it should track for you. There is some bugs, and if it does that, just die and it'll usually fix itself. We went over platinum. Let's talk about priceless. Priceless is get 3 upper kills with 1 magazine 15 times. Again, just get the 3 kills, 1 magazine, and die, or try to get them all in the same life. Doesn't really matter. Just figure out what works best for you. Let's look at the ARs. For this one, we'll look at the STG. For the STG, you can get kills while strafing for gold, We've went over that. That's just pretty much getting kills while moving around and aiming. Now strafing can be confusing for a lot of people, especially if you don't know terminology. But strafing is basically just kind of jumping and crouching and moving side to side, up and forth, like backwards and frontwards. Basically just moving around in a circular motion. If you just do that, you'll get your strafing kills very quickly. For priceless for ARs, you're gonna get 15 kills without the enemy damaging you. Again, basically just get a 15 kill streak and you'll be good if you don't get hit, or get kills without getting hit, which again, play hardcore for that and you should get that no problem. Now some ARs may be different. If for whatever reason an AR is different for you, just message me down below and I will help you, because as far as I'm aware, I think most guns for each category has a set 3 challenges for their masteries, but I've been wrong in the past, so I could be very much wrong. For shotguns for gold, is get 2 kills shortly after sprinting and 1 life 10 times. Again, same thing with like the swapping weapons challenge earlier. Just basically keep sprinting, stopping, sprinting, stopping, sprinting, stopping. You don't have to sprint for very long. You can literally start the sprint animation and then stop and get a kill, and it will count. For platinum, get 2 kills within 10 seconds of each other 15 times. Just get 2 double kills, or get a double kill in the same life 15 times. That's pretty much the challenge done for you. 10 hit fire kills while strafing. Again, this is just move in a circular pattern and get to hit fire kills. Super easy, self-explanatory. Again, you can see how these are very, very easy. People that aren't getting these challenges done and saying that they're not able to get these challenges done, it's really not an excuse. If you just put your mind forward to it, you can get these done. Even with the SBMM, these challenges are not hard at all. Okay, now LMGs for Model 3. Gold is going to be 2 kills without releasing the trigger 10 times. Very self-explanatory, very easy. Just keep holding the trigger, put the big magazines on. Most LMGs have 150 to 200 round belts, so if you do that, you'll be fine. Play Shipment Hardcore, for example. 20 suppressed kills with headshots. For platinum, pretty self-explanatory. Just put suppressor on, get 20 headshots, and kapow, you're done with that. For priceless, get 3 operator kills and with one magazine 10 times. Very easy. Same thing. If you're struggling with this, just pretty much build the same build. You would want the Gilded challenge for gold, and then just do the same thing. Even if you have to hold the trigger, it'll still help you very easily. So, very self-explanatory, very simple, very easy, straightforward. For marksmans are going to have probably the more frustrating challenges for a lot of people because of the marksmans. But you get basically for gold, you get 50 kills shortly after ADSing. Some of these will be easier than others, but for again, just build a quick ADS build class. Platinum, get 2 kills shortly after sprinting 1 life 15 times. Very simple, just do that again, same as before. 20 operator headshots with iron sights equipped to the gun you're using. For priceless, this is going to be easy. Most marksman builds that I run are usually iron sight builds, so do as you will with that. Try to fly through these as fast as possible so we can go into some of the other information. This video is already being longer than anticipated, but here we go. For gold for snipers, you get kills with magnification scopes. We've known that already. Just put a scope that's bigger on, like the SPX scope, or some default scopes. For platinum, you get 15 headshots with whatever challenge. Now the sniper, this Morris does have a specific challenge tied to this specific gun, so we'll go over another sniper in a second. But for this gun specifically, you just get kills with the Morris dot sight. That is a red dot sight that is available through this gun's challenges, like for its levels. So you just go look at the optics for that. And you get 2 kills that are headshots in 1 life for snipers for priceless. Very self-explanatory. Just get 2 headshots. Let's go over to another sniper so I can show you guys the other challenge. For most of the other snipers, it's 3 kills with 1 magazine. So very self-explanatory, very easy. It doesn't require too much work. Now, this sniper right here has the 15 kills shortly after sprinting with the XRK Stalker. I think this might be more based on the other sniper challenges. So again, both the Morris and the Stalker had different challenges, but that could just because this Morris has more specifically tied challenges to that gun specifically. So just, again, get your kills while shortly after sprinting. Just make sure you guys are reading the challenges. For the most part, these are all going to be the same. So, if I'm only explaining, one of these challenges, most of these challenges are recycled. So if I miss something for a certain gun, I'm probably going over with another. So just keep that in mind. For melees, the default challenge, by the way, is just get 50 kills in melees. Goal to get kills while being out of sight. We've already talked about that. Get 10 kills while crouching or sliding with the melee weapon for platinum. Again, very, very easily. All you have to do is play shipment and you'll get these in no time. Priceless, get 15 kills from behind. Now these are one of the other challenges that are kind of weird because sometimes it feels like they don't track. You have to be behind them. You cannot be from the side. You cannot be from the front. It's not like the other challenge where you can be kind of from the side. It doesn't count, unfortunately. So if it's not tracking, you're probably getting from the side. Try to go from behind. For launchers, we'll do the RGL because it's going to be the base one in the game. Most people, I feel like, are going to do the RGL instead. RGL, you just get 25 kills with it. Then boom, that kill is done. Then you got to get 10 kills by hitting them with a direct impact with the RGL. Now this is something I did before they added the conversion kit, but I would assume all of the conversion kits ammo types do count to this challenge, so now it would actually probably be easier now than ever before to do this challenge. So try it out. If it doesn't work, just use the explosive ones. Play small maps. Platinum, destroy 25 enemy equipment. This is actually one of the hardest challenges for the RGL. And at one point, this was nearly impossible to do at one point because there just wasn't enough people using claymores and stuff. But now it's probably way easier, especially since there's more people using claymores. Like if you're having issues, run this on search. Search I destroy, I find a lot of claymores. I did mine in free-for-all, but you could obviously do this in different modes if you figure out a better mode for yourself. For me, free-for-all was definitely the method because everyone uses claymores over there. And then for priceless, get 25 double kills. Again, if you're having issues getting with explosives, try the conversion kit. If you're still having issues, try hardcore. Hardcore shipment is probably gonna be your best bet, but a lot of people run EOD, so keep that in mind. And last but not least, the pistols. We'll do the core because the core is the default gun. Core has some pretty interesting challenges. I will say, since I am seeing this real quick, I do want to mention that there is one challenge for pistols that requires akimbo kills. I think every pistol has the akimbo challenge. That's just get 15 kills with akimbo. Not hard. You'll get that unlocked if you have the weapons maxed out. Gold, get 15 kills with the enemy damaging you. Again, if you're having struggles with this, just go to hardcore. All these damage-based challenges are easier in hardcore. So if you're struggling, go there and do it. 100% easier. Most times you will not get hit marked. Sometimes on hardcore you will get hit marked, but for the most part, if someone shoots you on hardcore, they're killing you. So if you're getting kills, you're getting kills without being hit. So it's useful. For priceless, you have to get 15 operator head fire kills with the core 45 or any other pistol. This is pretty easy. If you run a akimbo, this will make it even easier. So that's worth a shot. For priceless, get 10 headshots with each pistol. This is pretty easy. 10 headshots isn't nothing. If you did Model for 2 grind, Model for 2 requires 25 headshots per pistol for polyatomic. So, take that with what it is. So, it's very much easier in comparison. And those are all the base challenges in the game. And for the mastery challenges. So, let's go over some other things that I think would be very important for you if you're going for this challenge. First off, streaks. What should I run for streaks? Well, most people would tell you all support streaks. So, like UAV, counter, and advanced. I would say a UAV and an advance are two need streaks, not only for camo grinding, but in general. But the second streak in the middle streak, can be a couple different things. So I found the SAE, the sentry gun, the gunship, and the chopper gunner to be my top couple when I was grinding. But obviously now there's more options. If you're camo grinding, I would recommend the Swarm or the EMP, and maybe a sentry gun, and probably like the Recon Jug or an SAE. Those are the things I'd recommend. Those will just make your life a little more enjoyable. You can put the VTOL on as well if you wanted to. Something to help control the map will be very helpful in your grind. So those are streaks. Let's go over some modes. Let's go over game modes. So game modes, biggest one of them all right now that's active, and it's been pretty much, I think it's going to be permanently active now, is a small map mosh pit. This is mosh pit you're going to probably want to play the most. You got Yard, DOS Gross, Emergency, Stash, Rust, Toxinide, which is a version of Rust, a version of Shipment, regular Shipment, and Shoot House. Literally the best maps in the game. So just play this this mosh pit. This mosh pit has KC, Dom, HP, and TDM, sorry. So you have 4 of the best modes for camo grinding, 2 long modes, 2 short modes. So use that as you go. If you're not wanting to play that mosh pit, let's talk about some other modes you guys can play. First off, if you're doing, if you just want to play one map, you can obviously play whatever 24/7 playlist is available. Right now we have the 2 new DLC maps, which is Bait and Yard. But sometimes you see a Shoot House only or Shipment only or whatever. So keep an eye out for those. For sniping, for any long shots, I know some snipers require long shots. Do those in Ground War or War. Those will be your best options there. If you're going for, if you want to play smaller maps that have 10v10, then you can obviously play those. But you could decide that based on the gun you're using. So some guns, if you got to do, like, say for LMGs, you might want to try to play 10v10 on, say, not a state, let's see a good map in here, like Rundown or Skid Row or something. Those options are very good as well for that. You just have to decide. Now, let's see what else. Gunfight and Cutthroat, those I would stay away from. Same with Affected and Gun Game. Stay away from them. They could be helpful in some ways. So, like, if you're doing a pistol or something, or shotgun, it could be fun to do those in those modes, but they're not really all that convenient for you. If you're just someone who wants to play the base mode, right? Base modes, no specialness. You can do hardcore, and filter, domination, hardpoint, and like TDM or something. There is 24/7 playlists in hardcore, so right now you have Season 5 Mosh Pit, the 2 DLC 24/7s, and the Season 5 Mosh Pit. They're all here in hardcore, so you can filter them in and out if you would like to do that as well. Same with core. Core, you could do Search and Destroy or whatever you feel like is best. I don't recommend modes with 1 life unless you absolutely need it, but obviously those are an option as well. Now, one thing that this game has now that it didn't have when I grinded is tracking ability. So if you were working on, base camos and you want to do a couple base camos at a time, track them. Go into the gun category. We'll go here. I'll put my my ACR back on and show you guys. So all we have to do is go here to the camos. Go here. And you just pick the camo you want to track. So for example, right now, I'm going to work on Obsidian for my ACR, because it's a gun I haven't done yet. So I'm going to hit track, boom, it's now tracking. Now obviously my Weapon Prestige camo doesn't track the best, because they're kind of glitch, but normal camos will track 100% accurately in game. If you were trying to track them and try to keep track, what I do recommend is if you're in a lobby and you're like trying to watch if that number went up or not, just when you do the challenge, wait a second, pull up the menu. If it's not updated, just close the pause menu and then reopen it back up again, and that number should go up. Sometimes you use the refresh the UI. That's it. So those are some tips and tricks for getting the Mastery Camos in 2024. There's obviously different things you can do too, like if you're trying to level up guns faster, do those daily challenges, play zombies, play modes that are given double XP if there's any that are specific. Use your double weapon XP tokens here. Don't be afraid to use them. Play here with a team, party skin bonus, and then there's also the party up bonus, so use those bonuses. Play with friends. Buy the battle pass. The battle pass gives you some bonuses. I think it's a 10% XP bonus for battle pass players. So keep that in mind. There's no Pacific operators to use. There's no Pacific variants to use. So yeah, hope that was helpful for some of you guys. If you guys have any questions, ask me down below. I probably could have done this a little better, but this is something that I wanted to get out just to help people that are still grinding. But yeah. With that being said, man, love you guys, you're one of a kind, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.